Hey everyone, my name is Ryune Seichi, and welcome to the guide for Shiva Extreme. It's not too hard, so get your notes ready because the pen is mightier than the sword. With my guide, you'll get the right staff together to make Shiva bow down. That was ice cold, man. Okay, let's cool it with the pun, seriously. So, this is Shiva Extreme. It is, the newest primal released for patch 2.4 of this game, Final Fantasy XIV, A Realm Reborn. And, she actually seems easier than, say, Ramuh was to me. It's just kind of getting the patterns down and all that good stuff. So, just follow my guide and hopefully you'll get that clear. So, first, Shiva will be up at the north section there. We have A, B, and C marked at east, south, and west, respectively. Tanks will be north, which is called D, basically. It's kind of like turn 4 in a way, how those towers work. Generally, what we do is have the physical DPS, unless it's 2 melee, in which case we'll change the strategy, but the physical DPS will be on A, the magical DPS will be on C, and the scholar people, the healers, will be on B. You have to pretty much have 2 tanks in this. I don't think it's solo tankable. And you can see Punch just drew her there, or maybe that's Aaron. I can't really see. It's too small again. But you can just start this battle as normal. She'll pull out her first weapon here in a bit. You'll know she's about to pull out a weapon because she'll float up into the air and do a certain animation. If she is pulling out her sword like that, she'll go up, pull it out, and then she'll do an attack called Ice Brand, which hits everyone. Well, it splits the damage again around everyone it hits, so the tank spins her around and faces the raid. These are pinwheels. The pinwheel formation, honestly, for me, is too difficult to dodge without dying, so it's actually easier just to eat the center one. If your healers know you're going to do that, they'll be in the center too, and they'll shield and heal you through it. So it's not too bad. When she goes up into the air and spins like that, she's pulling out her staff, which means Hailstorm is coming. Hailstorm is like Thunderbolt in Ramuh Extreme, where it hits a circular AoE around all marked players. In the second phase, it'll hit about 4 people. In this phase, it'll hit like almost all 7 of them, I think, except the main tank. At around 80%, she'll draw out these 4 ice golems. They need to be AoE'd and DPS down immediately, because if they are not, they will kill you with the diamond dust that's incoming. With Dragoon, I find that a couple of Ring of Thorns, a Dragon Fire Dive, and then single targeting whatever one has the highest amount of HP seems to be the most effective for getting them down quickly. If you're a bard, playing Foe Requiem is always appreciated by any black mages and summoners in the group. I also would not go into this without at least a caster of some type. Black mages are definitely preferred, but not really required. We've done it without one before, but it's a little harder to get the ads down in time. After, I'd say 20 seconds, I guess, she will do this, which will freeze everybody in the party, and then do around 2,000 damage to the raid if you've killed all the golems. So, not too bad. Now, the first thing she'll do is summon more of these icicle circles. You can see that A is covered, which means we need to go clockwise from A. That's the safe spot. The ranged will go... I actually went to the tank spot there, so that's incorrect. But also A is slightly off, which is throwing me off in this fight. It's actually funny because this fight is probably one of the most recoverable in the game. Or at least for extreme primals. We've actually healer LB3'd before and still managed to pull out a win. So this is another pinwheel formation. As I said, it's a lot easier to not worry about dodging it, especially for melee, because you'll be losing DPS doing that, especially if you die. So next, she'll pull out her bow and arrow, which hits a huge 270-degree cone in front of her. You want to be behind her, basically. Staying right behind her is the safest. And also for this attack that's coming up, she'll mark a random player other than the main tank. Or actually, no, the main tank could get it too, in which case they have to run through her. Standing directly behind her when she does that makes it easiest to not get punted back into the wall and turned into a boulder, as Mika did over there. But we free her before the next set of circles comes out. Now, as I was saying before, what these circles do is that they'll make this formation makes northeast, southwest safe, and then it'll move clockwise, and then place another circle in the center. The melee have to stand on the very inside of the circle, and ranged have to stand outside if staff is coming. If sword is coming, you actually have to stay behind Shiva for a second and take the ice brand before running to your spot. And in that case, any safe spot will do, because there's no hailstorms that are about to destroy you. So you can actually just have everyone stand on the inside of the same area if you wanted. Generally, though, we like to stay in our own safe zones, at least just in case our tank doesn't see the correct weapon coming out. She'll always transition from sword and staff into bow, so it's always a good idea to try and get behind her as quickly as possible after permafrost goes off. If you're moving when permafrost is going out, by the way, it'll make you slide and usually into the wall and then freeze you into another ice boulder again. So we definitely don't want that. There's only one other mechanic I can think of in this fight, but there is a soft enrage going on where every now and then she'll just gain a stack of damage. I don't know when that happens, because I've never kind of paid attention to it as a DPS. But it's a good idea to just keep in mind that it's happening. I'm usually in charge of calling out which zone is safe so everyone else can concentrate. Like now they're on the diagonals, so the safe spots will be cardinal directions, which I did wrong, by the way. But that was Ice Brand, so it's alright. And the one other mechanic she has is coming up here in a second, eventually. Oh, she also does an attack when she pulls out her sword called Glacier Bash. But that's the attack I was waiting for, Whiteout. It's a lot like Lunar Dynamo in turn 9, where it keeps the area around her safe and outside of the, or just on the edge of range damage. Since we always want to be stacked on Shiva anyway, Whiteout's usually not a problem. Pinwheel's coming out. I also like to use Mantra as a Dragoon here. It just helps out the healers a little bit. I also like to pop Bloodbath for healing if I've got it available. And Second Wind if I really need it. I'll kind of just use Second Wind whenever. Some people like to have Foresight instead of Second Wind. I've found Second Wind to be a lot more useful. Especially if you're doing turn 9 with meteor streams. And that's the clear. So, man, it is hard to make a guide of this place because it's just so randomized. But hopefully my guide will help out some people who are struggling with it. And yeah, I've been Rene Seichi. This was Sealing Fate with my static mates. So you can go and make yourself a nice cup of hot cocoa after all that ice. Until then, later guys. Oh yeah, join me next time, hopefully when we clear turn 9. That'd be something, right? Okay, bye.